From the heart of Yerevan, where it is pouring rain, this is ＳիվիլՆեթ's Daily News Digest. I'm Maria Titizian, and here are the top stories for Tuesday, March 11. Local elections in the regions of Armenia marred by the usual suspects. Also, the ruling coalition strikes down a proposal to create an interim parliamentary committee for March 1. Plus, plans to build a cafe near the Garni Temple are scrapped. And later, what is the connection between Armenians, the kerosene lamp, and Poland? At the end of today's program, I'll provide the answer to this question. Elections for local leaders and local council of elders took place over the weekend in a number of communities in the marzes of Arakadzodin, Ararat, Lori, Godayk, Shirak, Syunik, Vayottsor, and Davush. The overriding majority of candidates were members of the Republican Party of Armenia, and the majority of them were elected or re-elected. Most opposition parties did not even table candidates, citing rampant abuses employed by the ruling party in the way of voter bribes and the utilization of what is known as administrative resources. Only one opposition candidate representing the ARF, Tashnaktsutyun, managed to beat the incumbent and secure a win in the village of Hofk in Davush Mars. The Citizen Observer Initiative, established in 2013 and consisting of 4 NGOs, Transparency International Anti-Corruption Center, the Europe of Law Union, the Helsinki Citizens Assembly Vanatsor Office, and the Aspares Journalists Club, conducted observation missions in 13 communities. They registered several cases of obstacles to the free expression of will, the use of administrative resources, and voter bribes. The ruling coalition in Parliament struck down a proposal yesterday to create a special ad hoc committee to investigate the post-presidential election riots on March 1, 2008 that left 10 people dead. The proposal, tabled by the opposition Armenian National Congress during the last session of the National Assembly, was supported by the other opposition factions in Parliament, the ARF, the Prosperous Armenia Party, and the Heritage Party. The ruling Republican Party and Orinats, or Country of Law Party, was able to secure 66 votes against the initiative, with only 46 in favor. Many in the country have been calling for a probe into the events. To date, no one has been held accountable for the deaths. Kalu Sahagyan, the leader of the Republican faction, said that they did not consider the establishment of a new commission expedient. Naira Zorabian of the Prosperous Armenia Party said, quote, "If we want to get answers to these serious questions, we should vote in favor of creation of an interim parliamentary commission. Those who have nothing to conceal should vote for the draft decision." Serbia's Foreign Affairs Minister Ivan Mirkic is in Yerevan on an official visit. Issues discussed during his meeting with Armenia's Foreign Affairs Minister Edward Nalbandian included preparations for Serbian President Tomislav Nikolić's visit to Armenia, deepening cooperation within international organizations, and intensifying trade and economic relations. Following their meeting, the foreign affairs ministers held a joint press conference. Minister Mirkic said that while Serbia and Kosovo are holding talks aimed at creating conditions for normal living standards for all citizens, he emphasized that Serbia has no intention of recognizing Kosovo. He also went on to say that Serbia supports the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs efforts to find a peaceful solution to the Karabakh conflict and said that they fully support the Madrid principles. President Serge Sarkisyan also met with the foreign minister and stressed the importance of continuing high-level dialogue and promoting cooperation in a number of spheres between the two countries. The president also remembered the 7 Serbian pilots who were killed in an airplane crash on their way to provide assistance following the 1988 Spidak earthquake. Mirkic also met with Prime Minister Tikran Sarkisyan and His Holiness Karakin II. Representatives of the International Committee of the Red Cross, or the ICRC, are trying to arrange a meeting with 22-year-old Armenian citizen Arsen Khojoyan, who is being held captive by Azerbaijan after he lost his way in deep fog in the Davush Mars and crossed into Azerbaijani territory. The ICRC Yerevan office has been in touch with Azerbaijani authorities and are trying to arrange a meeting where they will also exchange letters between Arsen Khojoyan and his family. 24 youth workers from 8 European Union and Eastern Partnership countries will participate in the Learn, Involve, Lead training course in Yerevan. The event kicked off yesterday and will continue until March 17. The program's goal is to acquaint participants to aspects of effective leadership, entrepreneurship, as well as discuss issues of youth unemployment. Anna Bluzian, the president of the organization hosting the program, stated that the aim of the program is to also cultivate skillful, knowledgeable, and confident representatives of youth organizations that will be actively involved in their communities and organizations. The Learn Involved Lead program is funded by the European Commission within the framework of the EU's Youth in Action program and is organized by the local NGO Youth for Exchange and Cooperation. Armenia's government has decided to abandon plans to build a cafe on the grounds of the historic Garni Temple. This announcement follows protests that took place late last week against the proposed cafe, which activists claim would not only harm the preservation of the ancient monuments in the area, but would also deter tourists from visiting the site. Government officials stated that the revenue generated by the cafe would be used on maintenance for the historic site and that the cafe would function only during the summer and fall months. Last week, activists went to the Garni complex and removed construction materials from the site and dumped them in front of the Ministry of Culture as a sign of protest. There are several monuments on the grounds of the Garni Reserve, the 3rd century BC Garni Castle, the 1st century BC Garni Temple, and several other ruins and landmarks, including a royal bathhouse. Yesterday, the Armenian National Football Association officially welcomed and presented the team's new coach, Bernard Shaland. Shaland replaces coach Vartan Minasyan, who quit last year after Armenia's national football team failed to qualify for the UEFA Championships. The Swiss coach spoke about the Russia-Armenia friendly match that was played in Krasnodar and about his future plans for the team. Shaland is confident that Armenia's national football team will be able to qualify for the UEFA 2016 Championships.
The team was not ready for this work, but it's not a problem for me now. I have seen the team and I know this team can play and can run. The team were not far, and I am sure we can reach this qualification.
Armenian athletes from the Kung Fu Federation of Armenia took part in the Eurasian Cup Championship of Kung Fu Sanda, which took place on March 8 and 9 in Tbilisi, Georgia. The Armenian team won 10 gold, 5 silver, and 3 bronze medals and won the tournament cup along with Georgia. Athletes from Nagorno-Karabakh were part of the Armenian team. 6 countries participated in the championship. The tournament was held ahead of the World Championships, which will take place from July 25 to 29 in Beijing, China. Armenia will be participating for the first time. The exchange rate is up on your screen as we take a look at your forecast. It's going to be a rainy day in Yerevan with a high of 20 and a low of 6. Gyumri will have a high of 9 and a low of 1. In Stepanakert, the capital of Artsakh, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 12 and a low of 3. And our travel forecast takes us to Warsaw, the Polish capital. Armenian presence in Poland dates back to the 13th century and has left an incredibly rich cultural and historical legacy. Major Armenian immigration to Poland occurred after the fall of the Kingdom of Cilicia in 1375. According to writer Adolf Nawaschitz, an estimated 50,000 Armenians arrived in Poland, bringing with them soil from their motherland, and because of their industrious nature, they were dubbed the salt of the earth. Armenians settled mainly in large cities, especially in Lviv, now located in northern Ukraine, and became a key element of the Polish bourgeois. In Warsaw, Armenians played an important role in the city's development and culture, and as Armenian immigration continued, the community grew to around 5,000 people. The kings of Poland granted Armenians religious liberty and political privileges. Casimir III of Poland granted Armenians the right to set up an exclusively Armenian national council known as the Voit. During the Turco-Polish Wars in 1671, Armenians from Lviv moved to Romania and Moldova, where they started small but strong communities. The 20th century proved to be a difficult and turbulent period for the Polish-Armenian community. After World War I, Armenians played an active and integral role in Poland's independence movements. Then, after World War II, the cities and towns with high Armenian populations in Poland were ceded to the Soviet Union as a result of the Yalta Agreements. Armenians thus scattered all throughout the country, forming cultural associations and building churches to preserve their ethnic identity. Many Armenian churches are located in Poland and the Lviv area of northern Ukraine. They include the 11th century Cathedral of Lviv, the 19th century Catholic Church in Gluisi, and the Armenian Church of Berezhany. Many famous Poles also have Armenian genetic heritage, such as Grammy Award-winning composer Krzysztof Eugeniusz Penderecki, one of Poland's greatest romantic poets and known as one of the 3 bards of Polish literature, Julius Slowacki, and Stanislaw Moniuszko, famous Polish composer. Even Ignacy Lukasiewicz, the builder of the first oil refinery in the world in 1858 and creator of the modern kerosene lamp, is said to have descended from an Armenian family. Today, the population of the Armenian community in Poland is estimated to be at around 50,000 people. And that is our digest for this Tuesday, March 11. I leave you today with Stanislaw Moniuszko's The Haunted Manor. Enjoy, and I will see you back here tomorrow.